Hey everyone, welcome back to Sunday. Sunday it is. Oh my gosh. Thanks for joining. Sorry, I'm about 5 minutes late here, guys. I just got off the phone with a client, and I just couldn't leave. So it's one of those days, right? You're trying to like split your time in so many different places. Anyways, everything's time blocked now, so I'm all good. And I'm still in my running stuff. For any of you that have followed me on Strava, you'll see where my run took me today. And I'm telling you guys, like, I'm feeling epic. Like, I'm feeling really, 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 really good. So I'm dialed in, guys. I'm dialed in. Training is, we're going to talk. Like, I'm just blown away by where I'm at. Like, I'm literally freaking excited, like so much. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I don't know, we're just going to talk running, right? I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to just do all that kind of stuff. And the family's not home today, so I got the house to myself for the next couple hours. But I got chores I got to do around the house. The kitchen, a couple of you guys have been asking me whether or not, what's happening in the kitchen. Cindy, I'm talking to you. The kitchen has been delayed. It should have been done by now. Anyways, we've been living in a construction zone for like over a week, and it's flipping crazy. Trying to navigate your daily life, right? Running, working, husband, cooking, cleaning. It's really difficult to kind of figure it all out when you don't have a kitchen, really, because things have been ripped things off the wall. Things are delayed because we're trying to get this countertop that we really like, but we were kind of, I don't know, they just didn't have it in stock. There's a shortage on quartz. There's a shortage on 2x4s. There's a shortage on plywood. There's a shortage on like everything, like even nails. Like, it's been nuts. So anyways, that's kind of the gist of kind of the kitchen stuff, right? So anyways, but Julie says, David's not usually late, probably technical difficulties. Yes, it was more work related. So that's why, everybody, sorry about that. So yes, we got Dresden. Hey, we got Conrad in the house. Nice to have you here. Julie is in the house. We got Cuddles in the house. We've got Cliff in the house. Even folks. Very cool, guys. Oh, wow. We got some more people in here, too. Gary says hello. Oh, wow. What a day. Sada says hello, Dave. And we've got Clan in the house. Dave, you still have the wings. Yeah, these things, guys, like, they're not, it's not going away. Like, I got total hat head, and this thing, I got the hair that sticks up here. It's just, I'm a mess. We can't even get our hair cut yet, guys, because everything's still shut down. We're still in a stay-at-home order, lockdown, whatever it is that you want to call it. Vaccines are happening. More and more people are getting them, but I haven't got my second dose yet, so is what it is. Oh, okay. Can you guys hear that noise in the background? Let me know if you can hear this. I got somebody, like, we back onto a school, and so there's a big field back there. And in the wintertime, we hear snowmobiles. Like, they go crazy all in there. And now it looks like someone's riding one of these like little mini, like an adult riding this little mini motorcycle thing. They look ridiculous. Like, if they wipe out, they're going to hurt themselves. It's like their knees are up by where their eyeballs are. I don't know how people can ride those things. Anyways, that's what the noise was in the background. So anyways, it is what it is. Phil Rocky Mountain Runner, hello. We've got everybody in the house. All right, so training, what's happening, guys? What is going on? Why am I so excited for those of you who have watched or follow me on Strava, and then you can see what my run was like today. And so let's start off by saying that last week wasn't really a consistent week. I only ran 2 days last week. Not this week, but last week, because I was helping a client pack up their house because we were getting ready to put it on the market. And that's when I was in Toronto. There was a lot of things that kind of took me out of the running, right? Like I trying to get up in the morning. I'd get up to get my run in, but I'd look at my phone, I'd get sidetracked because I'd have to reply back to a bunch of emails and text messages so I could then go out for my run. I typically like to answer everything first and then I can head out. But what happened was I guess people were awake early and it just didn't happen. So if you check your phone in the morning, just know that your run may not get in. That's what happened last week. My day got busy right at the start and I didn't give myself the ability to go out and get my run in. So anyways, now in terms of how I feel, in terms of where things are at, I would have to say the following. I'm just going to see if I can bring on a screen. I'm going to share. Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so if I do this, let's see. I'm going to try this out for the first time. I'm going to share. I'm going to screen share. Screen sharing. Okay, some access. Let's see. Okay, so share a screen. And I'm going to select window. And I have to figure out. I'm just trying to find. Here we are, Strava, share. Okay, are you guys seeing? Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen now. All right, so let's dive into it. So as you can see, this week I had about 6 hours of runs in. Hold on a second, I'm gonna see if I can tighten up this cat stand I'm on. All right, so last week, as you can see, right? So I helped a buddy of mine, right, move. So I was doing a lot of heavy lifting. Then the next day I went to physiotherapy. So I thought I'd give myself Friday off, but then the weekend just got busy and insane. So really, like, days can disappear really quickly. Now over here, at the beginning of the week, I got my run in, took a day off, and then I was able to run over at a ski resort. And that's where I was on Thursday, right? I listed a house for sale and I wanted to get up some elevation. I needed to get up kind of high up. So I thought I would go and get a run in at this particular place. Now I need to figure out, guys, how I'm sharing the screen because I'm just trying to figure things out. This is all new to me. I wonder if I can go. I can't. Okay, so I can share the screen. All right. I'm trying to figure things out, guys, on the fly because, again, it's just all new. And for all of you guys, maybe just post your questions. Hold on a second. How do I stop sharing that? So post your questions, guys, and I will answer them. Training log, and then let's go into today's run because I wanted to talk about today's run. Okay, now I need to go into laps and let's see. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go back. I'm going to share this with you guys. Let's go share. Still figuring it all out. Share screen. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to go to Chrome tab. We're going to go here, share, and then there we go. Okay. So what we have here is my run for today. Now, hopefully you guys can see it okay. And now, when I went out for my run, I did my warm up. I was feeling really good. I don't know. My legs just felt great. Even though if you guys saw my video this morning, or well, wherever you are in the world, but if you saw today's video and you watched to the end, you probably saw the waterfalls, right? That I found. I didn't get to my final destination because it was, first off, I found out by a hiker that it was closed. And then that was when I was trying to get to Walters Falls. And then I realized that it would be too long of a run for me to do because I'm just not there yet. So I thought I'd kind of just tail it back. First trail run that I'd been on. So I thought I'd dial it back, get back, and then I headed down to the water. And so that's kind of where I ended up. Now, the run was amazing, absolutely awesome. Now, what I find even greater is I'm looking at these numbers, right? So, I'm at, 657, 659, 646, right? 134, 139, 138. Guys, I'm like super happy. Like I'm seeing sixes. Maybe at the beginning, but still I'm seeing sixes. And I was able to run a lot of that, right? Like very, very, I think the first 2 kilometers, I didn't even, well, maybe I stopped once, but it was really good. And then I got into, 727, 718, 709, right? And then I knew that I was heading into quite a bit of hills. And what happened was I ended up on my phone because people were trying to book appointments. So I had to use my phone with my app to try to book all these appointments. So the one thing that I find challenging is I go out for a run. I've got my phone with me to answer any of these, appointments. And so I'm trying to work at the same time as I'm trying to run, but it's just, I'm having a hard time. So I had to do some walking, which is where the 8:53 kind of came in. And then I picked it up and I started to run again. And it was fine. But I'm looking at my heart rate and I'm like, I'm flipping so happy. Like it's been really, really good, right? All of my I feel really good. I feel lighter. I feel more energized. My legs are holding up extremely well. So I have a lot of this going through, right? So, on those days where I think about, what, this isn't working anymore, right? I have to come back and look at what's going on. And it does work. It does. Everything that I wanted to see has started to happen. And for me, that's awesome, right? Because I talk about low heart rate training. I talk about that. You guys want to hear about that. You guys want me to talk about that. You want to see the results. You want to see all of these things. You want to know the benefits, people that, that it doesn't work for, like all of this stuff. So I kind of, look at this and go, I'm holding true. Like it's still working. Like it's still happening. And I'm grateful. And I'm so happy that I've stuck with it. And I can see where things are going to be in the next maybe couple of weeks. And if it's only a couple of weeks, I can see that my training is going to pay off and I'll be able to start thinking about what the next run is like, what the next race, the next adventure is going to be. Now, I know at the beginning of the year, I said it was going to be a 100 miler. Yeah, it's not happening this year. Next year, probably. But I'm looking at it, trying to decide what it is I'm going to do. And I'm kind of looking back at the goals that I set up for myself in January, right? When I had like the New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. So if any of you have seen that, you can go back to it, take a look, right? But there's a lot of goals in there that I think I can still attain, but it's going to be probably maybe August or September when I'll probably be able to try to achieve them. So yeah, there's some goals. There's some goals happening. I'm still kind of formulating, trying to pivot to see what else I can do. Okay. So anyways, that's just kind of where things are at with training. Training's going well, right? Trying to dial in the consistency, trying to be kind to myself. So that way, if I go off track and I didn't get all of the runs in that I wanted, just not to be so hard on myself. So the key for me is consistency. And I know that to be true. Now, when I was hiking up the ski hill, guys, like that was insane. Like it was so hard. Like I could feel it in my calves. It was literally just baby stepping all the way up to the top. And it was pretty epic when I got up there. Hopefully you guys like the views. I'm hopefully going to be upping my game. I'm checking out a number of different drones. And one of the things I've wanted to do this for a long time. And I don't know if any of you guys would even watch the video, but this is what I want to do. All right. So 5 years ago, I was like, I wish people, I wanted people to kind of film me when I ran, but nobody would film me and my family. And like, I didn't have anyone that would film. It was really hard. And so then I had to, so I didn't really think about it. Now, having a YouTube channel, I'm trying to be better all the time. And so I thought that if I got a drone, I could program it to follow me. Okay. There's a follow me mode on these things. And so I was out for a run the other day, and there was a guy just doing that. Like he was walking along and this drone was following him. And I thought, that is really awesome. Then I talked to Chris and he said, hey, that would be kind of cool. Why don't you do like a run and get this thing to follow you, right? So then it got me into thinking, like while I was out for my run today, that's something that I've wanted to do a long time ago. So if I put together some interesting trails, different destinations, like whether I go to like a new town and I run in the town, or I run in some beach area where there's coastal waters, or any of the trails, like new trail systems. And I didn't do any talking, and it was just like, hey, follow me, let's run, right? And I put it together and put on some music. Would you guys watch it, right? I don't know, like whether you're running on the treadmill or whether you're on the elliptical or whatever it is. I don't know, put some cool music to it, some scenery. Would you guys watch something like that? I don't know. And it may be like a 15-minute video, but it may be longer. It may be like a half an hour video. So if you're on the treadmill, you could actually feel like you're running with me. I don't know. Something I've been thinking about, and I've been thinking about it for 5 years. I'm wanting to do this, but the technology is getting there that I can actually do this. So hit the like button. Let me know, right, if this is something that you'd guys be interested in. Comment. Let me know if it's something you'd watch, because I'm thinking about it. Always trying to come up with ideas, right? Well, we have South Africa in the house. Wow, we've got worldwide people. This is awesome. Now, where are we here? Cuddle says, I was supposed to run a 21-kilometer tonight, but got lazy. I'll do it tomorrow. Don't get lazy. Stay true. Lace them up, right? Get out that door, right? Get out the door and make it happen. Sometimes we allow ourselves to go ahead, be lazy, and don't go out and do the run. And what happens is, like I showed you on Strava a couple of minutes ago, where all of a sudden there's like this gap of like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. Before you know it, you're like 5 days and you didn't run. That's what happens to me, right? It's if I give myself that opening, I'm like, oh, I got to help my buddy move. I'm going to be sore. And I was hauling stuff out of this house. It was crazy. And then of course the next day, oh, I got to go physio, and then the next day, oh, I'm just going to kind of recover from that. Before you know it, again, it's the excuses that we give ourselves. Get out and run. That's my take. Oh man. Kay from Germany says hello. Hi, how are things going in Germany? Man, every time I see all of you guys and you're all from different parts of the world, all I want to do is travel. I just want to be able to go to all these amazing places. I was in Germany when I was younger. I backpacked throughout Germany, and I took the trains. We went to all the beer house. I don't know what they call like the beer houses, but I don't know. These waitresses, they grab these steins and they've got like 4 of them in one hand and another, and they're heavy and they just wheel them around. I don't know how they do it, but those are my party days. Love, 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 love Munich. So cool. Anyways, that would, anyways, that's, I love Germany. The drone would be fun, Cliff says. Yeah, that would be cool. All right. Drone video would be nice. Not too long, please. Don't worry, Kate. You only have to watch a little bit. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I've never regretted going out for a run, but I regretted many times not going. Yep, I can agree. I can agree. Just get out and do the run. Yeah, the drone idea would be great. I'll try. The drone idea is great, but personally, I don't enjoy YouTube videos with no talking. Okay, that's good. Honesty. I love this. Right, this always helps. Voiceover with drone would be good. Okay, all right. So I could kind of give you as I'm running. See, I'd have to probably voice over it, because if I start talking too much when I'm running, my heart rate starts to rise. Like, it just naturally goes up. And so then the running wouldn't be so much fun because I'd be walking. That's the problem. So I could probably give you like an overview of how I'm doing, break it down like per kilometer, like, okay, there's kilometer 1, kilometer 2, and then kind of talk to you about kind of what I was feeling like as I was going through that time. Anyways, that I could probably do that. And then, or if I'm in a new town, and I could be like a tour guide, right? I give you, as I'm going through these areas, I can give you a little bit of a tour as to the area that I'm in and why I ended up there and the really cool things about the area. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. I could probably do that. That'd be kind of neat. You just, of course, I want an excuse for a new toy, but I got to save up for it. Like, these things aren't cheap, and then I got to figure out how to fly it, and you can only go up so high, and there's only a certain type of drone that you can buy before you got to start taking like flight school stuff. Like, it's crazy, all the different rules and regulations. So I'd have to get one. I think it's 249 grams. I don't know if it's the DJI or, anyways, I don't know which one I'm going to get, but I have spoken to a couple of people, and they said that you could get it and it could follow you. And I think following me would be pretty cool. I'd have to try it out before I start making the videos, but I've got an area where there's no trees, and then I could just kind of train it to maybe follow me around a track to start off with, and then branch out. Because could you imagine me running down a road in a city or a town and having this thing hover above me, just following me? People would think that I'm absolutely insane. Not that I care, but I mean, they'd be like, what the heck? Anyways, it'd be kind of weird. But anyways, I mean, like, I've run by people where I have like my selfie stick with the video on it, and I'm just hold it out front and I'm talking away to it, and people see me and they go, this guy's nuts, right? I actually heard them say that. Like, why do people do that? And there was one time I actually stopped and I ran back and go, I'm a YouTuber filming video. That's why I've got it out. And they're like, oh, I didn't mean anything. I'm sorry. I'm like, no. To answer your question, I heard you say it, so I thought I'd run back and tell you. So anyways, it's funny how everyone's got their own thought about. I mean, I've had people think I was like a news person, and I was filming some newsworthy content. I don't know, but being a content creator, being this YouTube thing, it's hard, guys. Like, it's hard to come up with topics. It's hard to make the videos. It's hard to find the time to make the videos. There's so many hard things about this, but at the end of the day, it's something that I enjoy, right? It's something that I enjoy. I've been doing it for Oh man, I mean, I got really serious probably October of last year. Well, maybe a little bit before, maybe September. I really started getting serious about this, and so it's been cool. It's been cool doing this, and I'm learning a ton of new things with all of these. So it's been an adventure. I'll tell you that. It's been an adventure. And I've actually been able to work in real estate stuff with this. I've actually, Gary, if you're watching, I actually showed a gentleman by his name is Gary. I showed him some properties. And it was all because YouTube. It's crazy how this happens. But if anyone wants to move to Ontario, reach out. Oh man, let's answer some questions again, guys. What do we got? Nigel, whoops, we are late. Evening, Dave, Nigel, and Cindy. Nice to have you guys here. Good to see you. Thank you. Also, guys, I just wanted to do a shout out to all of you who have subscribed to become a member. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's awesome that you donate. Buy me a cup of coffee, so to speak. That's kind of the cost. So KK, Nigel, Cindy, Cliff, Brian, runs like a donkey, Shay, like all you guys. Again, thank you. I'm very grateful for all of you who have become channel members. So thank you for that. I really just wanted to kind of give you guys a shout out because you do go above and beyond. So thank you for that. Seth Demore has his drone follow him through a city. It can be done. I suppose seek that beauty. Really? I haven't seen his video on any of that. I haven't seen one of his videos for quite some time. It's hard to fit all people like just following and then being a creator. I'd have to kind of binge watch a number. But yeah, I should check that out. See what he did. Yes, the voiceover explain what you're feeling at specific times. Okay, cool. All right. It's starting to resonate with people. I'll wait for a drone which I can taser my button. I feel like quitting. That would be awesome. Wow. All right, Julie, what were you saying here? I was scolded on my run yesterday because my husband's running ahead of me was rude to other trail users. Quite unfair. As A, I'm not married, and B, I have no idea who the man was. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. There's so many people out in the world who are very, very judgmental. Okay, there's judging going on everywhere. And my father always said to me, he says, David, never judge anybody because you never know what they're going through. You never know what their upbringing has got them to, right? You don't know where they went to school. You don't know their education level. You don't know what it's like to live in their home. You don't know if they have a bad relationship in their family and someone's getting a divorce or something. Like, you just don't know any of these things. So never, 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 never judge anybody. So I have always tried to be that person. And I'm not going to say that I've never judged. Yes, I have. But I've always tried to come back and bring it back to just don't judge people, right? Because you never know what they're going through. And I mean, I saw a runner the other day. Man, they were struggling. They were having such a hard time. I could see it in their face. But I just, I looked at them and said, hey, good morning. Have a great run. And they're like, thanks, and I never said anything else. I'm sure I'll run into them again because who knows, maybe they've just dropped like 50 pounds and they still have more weight to lose, but they decided to go out and run faster today. But then they're having problems because they're running faster. Who knows, right? But I always like to leave things in a positive way. And the other thing is, I've had a lot of people comment on my videos. There's a lot of I've had a lot of negative comments. I've had a lot of positive comments. I like all comments. I like all comments to come in because I think everybody's got an opinion. This is the beautiful world that we live in. We've got free speech. Let's put it out there and let's discuss, let's talk, right? So I know there was a couple of people who left the channel because they saw my video on, no food or fasting or whatever. And it's funny because you see the subscribers go up, and then one day you'll lose like 5, and then the next day you'll gain 10, and then the next day you'll go down 8. And it's this weird ebb and flow, right? Sometimes people come to the channel because they get what they need, or sometimes they come to the channel off one of the videos, and then they feel like that they're not getting what they want, so then they leave. I'm all good. I'm good with whatever people want to do, and I think that's great. I like to try give people good content, honest content, share my experiences, whether it is a gear review or whether it's heart rate training, or you're following because you want to follow along and be part of my journey. I think that's awesome that people want to be part of that, right? So we all have our own different stories and experiences, and I just like to share and bring that to other people. Now, that's kind of some of my thoughts, right? Nigel was saying, what are your thoughts on breathing through the nose while running? I watched a YouTuber who said do 8 beats breathing through the nose and 4 exhales. I tried it and lowered my heart rate a bit, but not a lot. Okay, so guys, when I did this, I found that it was great. It worked for me. However, when I tried it, it was in the winter time and it was cold outside. So I'd breathe in through my nose and out, and it's kind of like freeze. It would freeze and then it would like thaw out. And anyways, that's kind of the motion I had. And so I kind of struggled with it for a little bit. But then I tried it on a different day where it wasn't so cold, and then it was okay. And it kind of matched my MAF pace, right? So I thought about actually just slapping a piece of duct tape on my mouth and go out for a run and then see how that would work, right? So anyways, it's different. So it does work. It does work. Nasal breathing does work. It makes you breathe from your diaphragm, like really deep internal breathing, right? And it's very, very, very powerful. So I do love it. And I kind of forget sometimes when I'm out for a run about, using that method. So anyways, I'm going to try that and see what happens again, because I do like it and it does work. Tony, what are you saying here? Dave, do you run until you hit your max heart rate for MAF, or slow down as you approach your MAF? The first one makes you overshoot your max. Yeah, so for me, when I was just using my wristwatch, right, the optical sensor, when I was using that, I found that I would start to overshoot, right? I'd always end up going way over, like way over. And so I started to learn when I needed to back off, right? Because this thing's like 8 seconds behind and showing me the data, right? So it's always 8 seconds of what I had just ran. So I have to pay attention to that. Now that I've got the Polar H10, it's the strap that goes on. I did a video on that. It's great. It works really good. And it's about 1 second delay. So it's very, very quick to give me my heart rate. And so what I tend to do is as I'm approaching that heart rate, sometimes I forget. Like I set it up to beep on my phone, but sometimes, I get right in the zone and I'm not even thinking about anything and I'm just feeling good and I'm running. And then all of a sudden I'll look at my watch. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got to slow down, right? Sometimes I can feel it as I'm running. And if I'm really tuned in, I know without actually looking at my watch that my heart rate's going to be elevated. So I try to slow it down again. So the important thing is you got to do what works for you. So either your route, right, that you're going to run, and you know that when you come up to a hill, you're going to have to walk, right, to keep it down, right? Or you set your watch to it beeps and you pay attention to it, or you're always looking at your watch, right, which can be stressful. Or you get a chest strap and it measures it like really fast and you can be more in tune. So I do my best to kind of slow down just before I get to my number because I know I got a 1 second delay in there. Sometimes it goes up to like 140, but I don't freak out. I know it's going to come back down. And so that's kind of what I do. hopefully that answered your question. David, you managed to foster a really good environment to talk without it turning to drama. You're building a really good community. So to everyone, hit the bell, become a member. Thanks, Cliff. I appreciate that. I honestly, I love doing live videos because it gives me the ability to connect with you in a way that's different from the videos. Because when I'm doing a video, it's very, very, very different the way the content is produced than the way you do a live stream. Live streaming, I just find is just more of a connection and having a conversation with somebody as opposed to putting a video together, because with a video it's more of a storytelling process that you go through. So there's two different versions, like one with the live and then one with the video. So thanks, Cliff. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Chris says, keep up the good work, Dave. Thanks, man. Or great work. Thanks. Appreciate it. And thanks for our chat the other day, Chris. I really appreciate that. That was awesome. I agree, Cliff. Thanks, Cuddles. I appreciate that. Julie was saying, you can't please all the people all the time. My worry with fasting is the potential link with eating disorders, but I respect that everyone is entitled to make their own choices. Yeah, there are some people, when fasting, it can become too much. And if it becomes too much for people to handle, like if they don't understand this, then yeah, you can see it kind of go off the rails for some people, right? And so everyone's personality is so different in how they look at things, because some people would just, hey, I have to do more of this. If I do more of this, the better it is. Well, guess what? If you do more of MAF training and you keep doing more and more and more and more of it, is it going to be beneficial in the long term? Maybe not, because maybe you get an overuse training injury, right? Yeah, you don't need to go fast to get injured, okay? So yeah, too much of one thing may not be good, right? So if you're training and you may be upping your mileage and you're upping it, and it's the most you've ever run, but then you don't take a rest week in there, it could lead to an injury. So not everything is perfect in the world, right? So just because fasting works for one person, maybe it doesn't work for somebody, because that person may take it to an extreme and then it ends up becoming, anorexia or something like bad stuff, right? So everybody needs to talk to their doctors. They need to talk to the professionals. And that's what I did, right? I talked to my doctor about what I was going to do, and she was fine with it because I've done it before, and she knew what my plan was with it. So yeah, everybody, and that's the other thing, not everybody watches my previous videos. So if they don't watch a previous video, and then I go ahead and I do a video, an update video as to where things are going, they don't get the context. They don't get to know everything that happened in that other video, right? So they're commenting on this one, but little did they know about all these other ones. So what I'm learning is sometimes you have to kind of repeat yourself a little bit when you're talking about sensitive topics, so that way people can understand when they watch this video, so they don't have to watch like all these other ones to finally get to the story. Anyways, it's a learning process for me, for sure. Thanks, it did. Much appreciated. You're welcome, Tony, as always. Sana Dude says, that's a good point, Julie. As long as I control the food and the foods don't control me is the way to go. Absolutely. Because I tell you, if you go down that road being hooked on the whole sugar thing, right? OMG. I know what happens. You guys know I'm transparent. I'm honest. I'm telling you exactly what's happening, right? Not that everyone wants to see me with my shirt off. I mean, yeah, I don't want to see myself with my shirt off sometimes. But yeah, I'm transparent, I'm honest, and this is my journey getting back, right, to where I was. And when races, like when I can race again, oh my gosh, I can't wait. That's going to give me more content to give you guys. And I'm super, super pumped about getting and racing again. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens, where all of that goes. What's Conrad saying? Dave, how many times per year do you usually do fasting, or was that a one-time thing? I typically do I'll do like 3 water fasts a year. Just all depends. I tend to do it through the seasons, right? Because you finish Christmas time, you've eaten so much stuff, so many sweets, like Halloween, like that's another time. Springtime, I find I like to do it because you kind of coming off the winter months and now you're coming into the summer months, and you want to run more and all that kind of stuff, but you've gained some bad habits. Weight is one thing, but the thing that most people don't understand is the insulin. That's the fat storing hormone, right? It's not the fat that makes you fat, it's the insulin, right? So if you're having all these processed, refined, sugary foods, your insulin is shooting up through the roof. And the more times that you're eating that during the day, your insulin is shooting up. And the insulin goes, cool, I'm just going to start storing this away, right? There's going to be a famine at some point. I'm going to store it away. So if you can reduce all the foods that trigger insulin, your spikes of insulin, and the longer your insulin level stays higher, the worse it is, right? So it's why we have type 2 diabetes, right? Because we're always shoving these refined carbohydrates into our body all the time. I was talking to my doctor about this, and yeah, absolutely, this is what happens. So all the muffins and cookies and breads and pastas and all this refined stuff, it's like, oh my gosh. Vegetables don't do that, right? Your insulin spike isn't very low when it comes to stuff like that. But when you have pop, if you have fructose corn syrup in your drinks, like all these things, right? Not good. And it's a recipe for disaster with weight gain. I know it. I've been there. I've experienced it. And, it's all coming off, right? It's all happening. So here's what it is, man. Brandon, what's shaking, man? So good to see you here. Holy, man, it feels like it's been forever. Oh my gosh. So cool to have you here. It's been 5 years since my peak weight, and I still have insane sugar cravings every day. It's a battle. Yes, it is a battle. We all go through it, and it sucks. But we can control our brain. We can control our thoughts. We can do it. It is important, and you want to keep it off. You have to protect your brain. You have to protect your body. You have to do the things you need to do so you're not getting hooked on all the stuff again, right? Because I go through it, right? And I've allowed myself, and it sucks, right? I just have to be a little bit more protective so it doesn't continue to happen, right? Now, I didn't gain my 100 pounds back, right? I've gained 30 back, right? And that's coming off. It's going lower and lower all the time. So, yeah, absolutely. It happens, right? Christopher says, good question for you. My math number is 125, but when I use my Garmin 745, it tells me I'm in zone 3 for my aerobic. Which would you go with? I would go with my MAF number. Look, there's so many different zones on watches, right? You could have 5 zones for one watch and 3 zones for another watch, and it can get really confusing, right? So what I would say is do your own research, right? First off, I'm not an expert on anything, right? Real estate, okay, that's a different story. I can help you a lot more on real estate. But with running, for me, I find taking 180 minus my age, and then that's my number, okay? And then I add 5 beats. Shouldn't necessarily add that 5 beats right now because I've got a little bit of a belly going on, but I'm seeing results. And because I'm seeing results, I'm sticking with that formula. So here's the thing that everyone needs to understand, and I'm going to tell you straight out. MAF is not perfect for everybody. There is variation in there, okay? He basically wants to keep you from getting injured, okay? Being able to run longer, okay? And the weight to come off. So ideally, this is his number that he's come up with. Now, you can use that as a tool to figure out what that number is. Whether you're on medications, you got to go, subtract. And if you've been running for 2 years, no injuries, then you can go up 5. So maybe I shouldn't go up 5. But you know what? I have, and I'm seeing results. Every time I'm out, not every time I'm out, but when I do my MAF test next month, I'll be able to see if I'm improving. If I'm improving, then I'm going to continue with my formula. Okay. So not always it's the case of 180 minus your age, right? There are fluctuations that you can put in there. So yes, am I true right to the book? No, I'm not. And I'm okay with that. And I know my body well enough that that's the method I go. So whether or not you're in whatever zone you're in, just go with your feeling, right? And if you can have a conversation, right, full on conversation, you could sing the national anthem, and right, you're feeling good, then yeah, you're probably in a good zone. But if you really want to know your numbers, then you want to go in a lab, get tested, right? That would be the way to go. So that way you know where all your zones are. But for me, I use 180 minus my age. I add 5 beats because, I've been doing this for a long time, even though maybe I shouldn't add the 5, whatever. Okay. So I don't know if that helps, but anyways, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Brandon, here's a question for the, I'm no expert, Brandon, I'm no expert. But anyways, I'll answer your question. My MAF number is 154, but I do most of my runs around 140. Do you think I'm doing myself a disservice? No. Here's the thing, Brandon, you're younger, okay? You're probably in your 20s, I would say. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you are, because people who are teenagers or in their 20s, the MAF numbers can be too high for them. Okay, and this is what Dr. Phil talked about, right? It can be too high. So you need to be lower. And if you're running lower, if you're at 140, there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome, right? If you can run at 140 as a heart rate, you go ahead and you do that, okay? So if you're on the other side of the scale, right? If you're like, in your 60s or 70s and you're in that zone, then you've got to play around with your numbers, right? Because MAF isn't going to be working so well for you. So you're going to have to add 10 beats. And if that doesn't work, you may have to maybe put 5, or you'll have to play around with it. You'll actually have to do the tests each month and see where you're at. See if you're improving. If you're improving, you're in a good zone. If you're not, then you may have to make some changes. Okay. But we found that the younger you are, your MAF number will be higher, but people in that age group tend to run lower if they're going to be training like this. So it's okay. It's all right to do that. So you're not doing yourself a disservice. What you may want to do is bump it up a little bit. Maybe try 145 and see what happens, right? Maybe, be 10 beats lower than your MAF number and see what that's like for you, right? Hopefully that answers. Nigel, Dave, what is your MAF? Mine is 138, right? That's what mine is. Oh, well, actually, it's 133, but I add 5. So 133, I add 5, 138. Sana dude, easy days, easy hard day. Sorry, easy days, easy hard days. If you're not seeing results, up your mileage slowly, incorporate speed. Absolutely. So again, it's consistency, right? Consistency. And with that comes the mileage, right? Time on feet is what you want to look at. Not necessarily distance, but if you can go out and do like an hour and a half run twice a week and then hour runs in between there, you'll see some good results. If you want to add in a 2-hour run one day a week and do 2 hour-and-a-half runs and then have a rest day somewhere in there, you kind of have to play around with it a little bit and see what works. But I like time on feet is super important. I don't really worry too much about distance-wise. But the other cool thing is if you're running by distance, right? Sorry, if you're running by time, right? And you got your heart rate, whatever your heart rate is, let's say it's 140, you're running by that, and then you're running for an hour and a half. What's really, 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 really cool is you should be able to go further and further and further and further in distance. Same time, same heart rate, but yet you go further. So you can see that you're getting faster. And that's a neat result to look at. And I've been training like that for a while now. So it's interesting to see, right? Because some people like distance, right? Because they may think, or not that they think, that, hey, I only have a short period of time, and I know if I run this route, this 10 kilometers, I'll be finished off in 50 minutes or an hour or 45 minutes or whatever it is. They know that, right? So they can incorporate that into their day. Others, like myself, I like time. I like time. It works really well. Not every run is like that. Sometimes it's distance, right? If I'm with somebody or something like that. But again, you just kind of have to play it out and see what happens. So, dude, some genetic factors such as heart size and therefore your stroke volume, a bigger heart pumps more blood, which results in lower heart rate. Absolutely. The more weight that you carry on your frame, that's going to have a big impact on your heart rate as well. So the heavier you are, the higher your heart rate. Again, all these different, I fell asleep in science class, guys. I wasn't awake all the time. I should have paid a little bit more attention. I passed everything. I just wish I could retain some things I learned. It would be really helpful. Brandon's just saying, Sana dude, I may start adding in some speed for some fun. I do have a lower resting heart rate and all that stuff, just maybe a larger heart. Hey, it's all good, man. You guys figure it out. The one thing I like about, like, if you switch over to an 80-20, the 20% speed work, make sure that you're giving it, right? You're anaerobic, you are full on having that speed, right? Because you don't want to train in that gray zone, right? Because you're not getting the benefits of the easy run and you're not really getting the benefits of the anaerobic fast run. So make sure that you're training like in that zone, okay? Because then you start getting those results. Brandon says he's 26. Okay, you're good. Yeah, so that would fit your age group, all right? So try it out, man. Let me know. Let me know how things are going for you. So yeah, what else do we got going on here? So I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably put out another video next week, and I'm going to start thinking about the runs that are going to be coming up, like the new, I don't know, some of the new runs I'm going to do, and kind of break that up and start to come up with my training plan for that, because things are going well for me with my training. So I'm going to have to look at which route or which race I want to do. That's essentially what I'm trying to talk about here. That's great. It's great to hear. What's your resting heart rate, by the way? Are you asking Brandon or you're asking me? My resting heart rate is around 50, 51. Just fluctuates on the day. And before last year, it was in the 40s. I think I was like 40, 45. I think I may have had it down to at one point. It's kind of neat. But yeah, so the resting heart rate has gone up a little bit now. So Brandon says his fluctuates between 40 and 45. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. So very cool. So yeah, so next week, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out which run I'm going to do. I don't know, guys, you got any other questions, throw it my way. And then after that, I'm probably going to call it a day, probably take it for an hour here, and then we'll cap it off. So I can kind of have a shower because I still haven't got out of my running stuff. Sana dude says, I'm dead on where you're at, Brandon. Yeah, we all have different, I don't know, our bodies are so different, and it's hard because people want to have questions answered, and it's so difficult because we're all different. Our training is different, our physiology is different, everything is different. So what works for me may not work for somebody else. And it's hard to say because then you're being vague and people are looking for an answer. You can't give them the answer because everyone's different. And that's the hard part. right? That's the hard part. I mean, we can give based on our experience in the matter, but giving other bits, it can be a little bit hard. Tony says, "Hey Dave, I've got a Coros watch because of you, and I've seen the new Evo Lab metrics. I'm busy beta testing it now. It's really amazing." Oh, very cool. That's awesome that you're testing it out. Very cool. Yeah, I was going to start see if I could get on that beta, but I got so many other things going on. Can't add something else into my world. But let me know how it goes. Nigel, would really like to see another video, Dave, like the one you did doing baby steps and shuffling, and any other tips while it's running. Just a thought. Yeah, you know what? It's been about I don't know, going on for about a year since I did. I think it was July I did that video. So yeah, I could probably do another one. I think there's enough people that would be interested in seeing something like that. It's shuffling. Maybe if I get the drone, it'll be easier to film. And I'm also working on getting a mic hookup as well. Just my business partner and I, we use it for our real estate videos. So I'm going to see if I could kind of incorporate that into the running. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. I think the audio is pretty good, except when I'm in the house. When I'm in the house, it can kind of be very tinny because it bounces off the walls, and I don't have any foam on my walls. I don't have a studio, right? All mine is just kind of as I run. So yeah, so I'll probably go ahead and see if I can put together a video that talks about the whole shuffling and kind of take you on a I don't know, like a day one introduction. You know, this is how I would do it. This is how I do it, and then you can see exactly what I'm doing. Brandon says, "Is the real estate market absolutely insane in Ontario, like in Nova Scotia?" Brandon, you have no. Okay, yes, you do have an idea because you just got your house, so congratulations. Yes, the market here is insane. Like, when I say insane, guys, I mean it's bat poop crazy. Okay, basically what we're seeing is 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 offers on one house, and the house ends up selling anywhere from 50,000 to 300,000 above the asking price. That's the market. That's the market in Ontario right now. And it doesn't matter. It's like downtown Toronto. It can be over on the west side, like towards London. It could be on the other side towards Pickering and Ottawa, all the way up into cottage country, like Barrie, up to Halliburton. It is insane. Like, and it's hard because people ask, Dave, what price should we go in at? I can speak on based on experience. This is what's going to happen. But man, it's hard to tell people, look, if you want this property and we're dealing with 15 offers, you're going to have to go in really aggressive, no conditions, and max out your price. It's basically is what it's going to take. So yeah, it can be really, really, really tough. Fred, what's shaking, man? Good to see you here. Just got back from a family meal for my 21st. No way! 21st anniversary. Happy anniversary, dude. That is awesome. So glad to see. Brandon says, same thing here. I was happy to get mine for only 15 over. Good for you, man. That's really cool because your house is probably worth another 15 more now. I had a client of mine. They moved from Ontario here out to New Brunswick. The house here was like $315,000 for a 4-bedroom century. Like, the house needed work. Okay, there's no basement, a lot of renos that need to be done on the inside. Anyways, they went out to New Brunswick and they bought 80 acres with 30 acres of trees for $300,000. Working farm. Like, it's amazing what you can get. So, and that was in between Fredericton. I think they were, it was out in the country somewhere, just outside of Fredericton. Very cool though. Wow, those numbers. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Fred, we missed you, buddy. I was wondering where you were because you weren't commenting. And I'm like, Fred's usually commenting when he gets here. But, you were MIA for a long time. I had to talk so much that, now you're here. I feel bad for everyone because I had to listen to me yammer away until you got here. Brandon, we ended up writing a letter to the seller and had a 20-day close date. Very cool. Yeah. I've also done videos for clients. So I'll film like them talking, and then I would send that over to the listing agent just because with COVID, we can't really, that's the only way I'd be able to present. And that won me an offer. And we actually got it for 10,000 less than the highest bid because the people kind of connected with the seller, with the buyers, and it all worked out. But it was hard on the listing agent to tell the highest bidder, sorry, you didn't get the property because my guys like these ones. It was, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go down that road. Cindy says, sounds like you will be able to afford a good drone with the real estate being so busy. Go out and sell houses, Dave. Cindy, yes and no. But the challenge is two people get paid on a transaction, the listing agent and the cooperating agent, right? That's the buying agent, right? So if you're the winning one, great. But if you're not, I've put in for one client, I think I've put in 15, 16 offers, and we haven't got one yet. So it's hard, right? And so unless you're the listing agent, because you're guaranteed it to sell, it's okay. But on a buying side, very, very, very frustrating. So it can be a challenge. Clive Smith says, hey, hi, wondering about your thoughts on motivation. 6 months ago, regularly running 25 miles a week. The last few months have struggled and my diet, etc., has gone down the drain. Any ideas on how to get back on track? Yes, absolutely, I do. Number one, turn off the TV. No more watching. No more watching the news. No more watching, social media, like all the negativity stuff. Tune it out. Okay, that would be my number one thing. Number two, write down what your goal is. Right? Is it to run a race? Is it to lose weight? What's going on? Right? The other thing is take a look at your life to see what the stressors are. Right? So, are you going through hard times? Financially, relationship wise, work wise, what's happening, right? Because obviously something happened, right? You took 1 day off, 2 days off, before you know it, now you're off, right? And you're not running. So sign up for a race, put it on the calendar, like if you can. And if it's not a race, then make your own race, but tell the world, post it on. And I told you to stay off social media. Now I'm telling you to go back on social media. Post it on Facebook. Tell your friends, look, I'm going to run this race. Would love for you guys to be there at the finish line. Would you do that for me? Maybe that would help, right? So sign up for those things. Set your alarm so it goes off, so it'll wake you up in the morning. Put little sticky notes on your mirror in your bathroom and then in the car or anything to say, you are worthy, you are awesome, you're running, 10K today, whatever it is, right? Put it up, have reminders of your past experience, right? And then just lace up, just go out and walk. And then when you're walking, then just start running, right? And then see what happens, right? Mix it up, have some fun, right? I don't know, it's just hard, but motivation is different for everybody. Watch some of my videos. Find another YouTuber that you resonate with and they help you, right? Whatever it is, look for something in your life that can get you to turn the doorknob, to get out and run, right? Just figure it out. Check out check out a new trail, check out a new neighborhood, whatever it is. Get out early in the morning before the sun rises so you can see the sunrise, right? Or late at night when you get to see the sunset, whatever it is, whatever that motivation, right? That's what I do. Like, it just gets me excited, right? I don't know. Yeah, anyways, that's what I do. Clive, I find my motivation watching geese on YouTube channels. Really? That's awesome. Everybody's got to do what we got to do, right? Charity races doubles motivation. Absolutely. That would be very cool. Love it. Ignore that. Clive says, thanks, Dave. You were spot on. It was work, but all the advice is great. See? Very cool. You dive back, you start to see what it was that caused it to kind of fall apart. So that's cool. Good to see it. Find a dream race and watch YouTube videos of people running that race. It motivates me to get out and train for that race. Very cool. Absolutely. That's good, Julie. All these things, right? Every little bit helps, right? Turn your watch off and stop taking the scenery. Sometimes we need to remember why we run, to fire up the motivation. So true. It is so true, right? I love scenery. I love exploring new places. Did you guys see the video that I posted today? Okay. Did you see the little hut? And did you see the note that I wrote in the logbook? Right? Comment below. Let me know if you stuck around to the end where I did that. It was kind of neat. Anyways, I love doing stuff like that. I love exploring new places, checking out trails I've never been on. And then, who knows? Maybe you meet a new friend on the trail. Who knows, right? All these different things. Also, a great motivation for my long run today. Red wine this evening. There it is. High five, fist bump, Cliff. Very cool. Sada dude, I can't wait to see in 3 weeks' time what my 10K trial will bring. First training block using MAF, and hay is in the barn. Nice. Go out and crush it. You will do awesome. Definitely let me know, right? Let me know. Okay, I've got one other great idea, and let me know, comment below if you'd be okay with this. I want to put together a video of all of my subscribers that follow me in the channel who are doing MAF, who are seeing results. I would love if you guys could do like, I don't know, a 10 or a 30-second video clip of you saying, why you run using the Maffetone method, what benefits you're getting from it, why you like it so much, whatever it is. And then you could go and then send it to me. That would be awesome if you could. I could set up a Dropbox that we could all share, that you guys could upload it to. Let me know if you'd be interested, and I could do a video and put the collage of everybody together. That could be motivation as well. I just thought about this. So if that works for all 21 of you right now who are watching this, comment below and let me know if that would be something that you would do, because I'd be game for it. Okay. You guys know how to get hold of me, right? My email is all there. You guys can email me. You got me on social media, right? On Facebook, all these different things. You've got all kinds of different ways to connect with me. Let me know if that is something that would work. Cliff says, I'll do one this week. Awesome. That's amazing. Cliff says, awesome idea. So send me one. Brandon says, absolutely. Okay, cool. All right. So it's resonating with some of you. So this is good. All right. So I will do one. I will make a video so we can use that to keep us kind of motivated as well, if we ever need to see it and see other people. Julie, would you do it if you're still here? Chris, Julie, who else do I want to ask? Fred, would you do that? Nigel, Cindy. Okay, I guess just answered my question. We would be happy to do that. Nigel, awesome. Thanks, guys. Julie's like, I'll do it, David. Awesome. You guys are great. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. All right, so I'll kind of set things up to see if I can create a drive that we can kind of all upload it to. And now I guess what I'll have to do is I'll post that link in our Facebook group. So if you're not in our Facebook group, guys, click down below in this video or on any of my other videos, and you can find the Facebook group where you can go ahead and connect with us. And yeah, so that's where I'll post it, and yeah, we can take it from there and see what happens with all of us. So I think that's really cool. I just want to be respectful of everybody's time, so I'm going to kind of probably cap it off here. I want to thank all of you guys for watching the videos, for supporting me, for following along, for liking, for sharing the videos on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and wherever you are, on Instagram and social media. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And with the channel, I'm just doing what I can and keep trying to grow the community. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And until next time, guys. Hold on, one last question. Hold on. Cindy says, thanks for another great live. You're welcome. Cliff says, great stream, Dave. Take care, all the best. Stay safe. Class says, thanks, Dave and everyone. So with this, everybody, hold on a second. We got Julie in there too. Bye, everybody. Like I always say, get out and run. See you on Thursday. Bye, everyone.